Yo, we are back. We are back. Shoosh. Another StryfeSight. Another StryfeSight. Now, we are doing the Isley brothers. We will do, I will tell you the format that I've done and where I will believe I am headed. So I started this with hip hop, started with Tupac, then I did Biggie, West Coast, East Coast, then I did South with UGK, and then I did the Midwest with Twista, And then after that, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of rock I don't know, like pre 2000. I got into rock in the 2000s. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do rock. So I did Journey because I actually went to go see them with my lady's family. I went to go see them and I was impressed. So I did Journey first, and then I did Led Zeppelin because I had heard that name a bunch and didn't know any songs. Turns out I knew about 10 to 15 of their songs. But then after that, I did Black Sabbath because I am a fan of metal, of some types of metal. So I was like, you know what? Let's look up Forefathers of Metal. So I listened to Black Sabbath's catalog. And then last but not least for rock, I listened to the wonderful Anne and Nancy Wilson from Heart. That was last week, actually. So this week is a new month of music, and the month of music is R&B. So I wanted to go back and get some people I didn't necessarily know about. Obviously, I'm a millennial, so most of the music I know is from 2000 and above, whatever, or after, I should say. So I know some music from the 80s and 90s for sure. But if we are going to talk about the amount, it's probably 70% of my music that I know is probably 2000s and after. 70-30 sounds about right on the split. But yeah, now these guys have 33 studio albums. And guess what? I did them things. 33 studio albums from the Isley Brothers. And guess what? We're about to start this shit. Certainly about to start it. Now, their first album goes way back to 1959. Now, I did not know this, but they they started with an album called Shout. And you may recognize Shout as something very famous, you make me want to shout, kick my hands up and shout. Yeah, Isley Brothers. This is a cover, obviously. They did not make the original song, but yeah, it starts with Shout. Let's pull up my notes because I don't have my notes up like a scrub. There we go. Now, this does start with the doo-wop styled when the Saints Go Marching In. So then once again, they did not make When the Saints Go Marching In, but they did a doo-wop style and doo-wop. That if you remember that far back and how music worked, then you could remember that. But yeah, it was in a blues style. Now, Ring-a-Ling was a blues style song that was sung about not wanting someone to get married. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I am immediately noticing when I was listening to this, songs that I heard in my youth, as 0 to 10. He's got the whole world in his hands. Yeah, that's on here. When the Saints Go Marching In. I remember that when I was a kid. And we're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. The clock, not the. And some other songs on this album as well. Now, Lucky Old Sun is an interesting blues joint that speaks on the sun being lucky while being a human down, on the earth here struggling sucks. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool song, cool thought, Also, there were 4 different versions of Shout on this album. I have no clue why, but it was interesting. It was sung and like it was sung in a fun and soulful style, so I liked it based on that. Now, Respectable is an interesting song. It is about a maybe virgin or conservative girl with no dating experience at all and basically unruined. It was interesting, but keep in mind this is the 50s, right? Or 59, so almost the 60s. So different type of viewpoint and mindset on how things are, right? The hits on this end up being Shout, Respectable, and When the Saints Go Marching In. Ooh, excuse me. This album felt fun. It did have a blues style and a decent amount of doo-wop songs. It did feel alive and powerful though. It did feel very much so lively and powerful. The content on this album was primarily love and the pain of life. You know, love and the pain of life, life struggles. Favorite song ends up being Turn to Me. This is just a beautifully sung, emotionally potent song that is singing about wanting a lady to turn to you if she needs anything. You know? Now, we're moving on to 1960 blah blah blank. 62. There we go. I gotta read. I'm gonna have to increase the size of this. I can see, but we have a switch to Wikipedia, and I will explain that in the future. I have to rant about Google and Wikipedia in the future, so bear with me with all the letters and words and stuff on here. Now, Twist and Shout was the second album. This does open with a big fun-filling jam called Twist and Shout, self-titled. Now, this album did feel more dance-based due to Twist and Shout. There's a Spanish twist and twist again, and also the rubber leg twist. They were doing the twist a lot in 62. I could tell you that. 62, 63, if this came out 62, I mean, yeah, they was doing the 62, 63, 64. They was doing the twist. That's for sure. This album has 4 different versions. Now, there is more love for women on this album, which was some I also noted. Now, there's a concept song here. Don't You Leave Me is a new song about pleading for ladies and pleading for them not to leave, you know, and it's like almost with a demanding tone, which was something I was like, oh, interesting. Like, don't leave me. Like, don't leave me. Like, it's kind of, it wasn't sung like that. It was sung, you know, soulfully and powerfully, but like it, you know, I was like, huh, interesting. Now, another song, Time After Time, it's a beautifully sung, slower blues song about feeling lucky time after time to be loving another person that loves you back. That is fair. That is very fair. Noted that. Now, the hits on this end up being Twist and Shout and Right Now. The feel of this album was energetic and fun due to the majority of the songs being dance songs. Do the rubber leg twist, or shout, or twist and shout, or do the Spanish twist, or do the twist again. It may sound a little repetitive, but these were dancing songs, you know, these were dancing songs to like tell people to do it, you know, and it made the album feel fun. Now, the content on this album was really about dancing, it was about love and being in a relationship. My favorite song on this album ends up being Time After Time. This song is just really smooth and powerful and an emotional, potent song that captivates throughout its entirety. Now, next album we got, moving on to 1963, Twisting and Shouting. So not Twist and Shout, Twisting and Shouting. Now, this opens with Surf and Shout, which is another fun variation of Twist and Shout, a commanding dance song. Now, this album did have more of a love and blues feel at the beginning of it. There's something to note. Now, Please, Please, Please is another sad blues heartfelt pleading song. Please, please, please don't leave me. Please, please, please stay with me. I was noting these because it seemed like this was going to be a theme that they were going to be doing a lot. So this is, I think, the second pleading song where you're pleading to not be broken up with or pleading to not be left. Just something to note. Now, another concept song is What You Gonna Do. This is a fun song that has a group of females going back and forth with a group of males, and the males ask what the girls are gonna do after they show the girls that they can dance. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, Stagger Lee, this is a blues song about Bill Lyons, aka Stagger Lee. He shot someone, well, not Bill Lyons, it is Lee Shelton. Lee Shelton shot Bill Lyons because they stole his hat. So Bill Lyons stole Lee Shelton's hat and was shot about it. This was something really famous that happened. Like you can actually look this, you can Google this and figure this out actually. So I thought it was interesting that there was a song. There are multiple Stagger Lee songs actually. So it's like a legendary, I don't know, it's a legendary story that people make songs out of. Now the hits on this album end up being Do the Twist, Surf and Shout, and Stagger Lee. The feel of this album had like a lively dancing energy to it, but it also had an emotional potency of love and relationships as well. This album's content was about love, it was about cheating, and it was also about dancing and being in a relationship. Now, my favorite song actually ends up being the Stagger Lee song. I think that this is a pretty interesting concept, and apparently, as I said earlier, it has been recycled and redone a lot. But I do like the way how they're singing, and I do like how the story is being told as well. So I think that is informative and actually pretty cool. Next album, This Old Heart of Mine. This Old Heart of Mine going to, I would say 1966. Yeah, there we go. Man, I have got to increase the size of this stuff. But it's a lot of words. I'm just looking like 1991. No, that's not 96. Like 69. Like I'm just like looking around and finding it. But This Old Heart of Mine, this starts with Nowhere to Run. This is a groovy Motown song that is about not being able to escape a lover that you are trying to escape, like mentally. Like, you can't break the thoughts about them and stuff. Super relative song. Now, another song called Stop. And you would know this song maybe you've heard Stop in the Name of Love. There you go. Isley Brothers, baby. This is an upbeat Motown pleading song to keep a partner. Once again, it's 3 pleading songs. Stop in the name of love before you break. Okay, I understand. My singing's bad. Don't roast me. Concept song next is This Old Heart of Mine. This is self-titled, right? This is a Motown song about a heart wanting what it wants and you not being able to control that, Not necessarily. Now, another song we have here is I Hear a Symphony. This is a beautiful bluesy song that is about when you hear your lover, you hear a symphony. Beautiful analogy. I like it. Metaphor, analogy, one of those. Now, the hits on this end up being Nowhere to Run, This Old Heart of Mine, and Stop in the Name of Love. The feel of this album was definitely more of a romantic feel with many mentions of love. This album had it might be a record. It might be a record, but I noted this, right? Check this out. This album had plenty mentions of love. So one, there's Stop in the Name of Love. There's Take Some Time Out for Love. There's Guess I'll Always Love You. There's Who Could Ever Doubt My Love. There's Just Ain't Enough Love. And then there's No Love Left. So there's 6 songs out of it's only a 10 song. How many? Oh, it's only a 12 song album, right? So half of the songs have the word love in it. That was a funny coincidence. Now, the content for this album was mostly love due to a lot of the songs like having that in the title and it just talking about them in the songs. But also they're just constantly singing about love or heartbreak. Or don't leave me or stay in this relationship. Those type of vibes were the content. My favorite song ends up being I Hear a Symphony. This song is just sung very beautifully. And I do enjoy the Motown sound and the pureness of the vocals. It's just beautiful. Next, We have Soul on the Rocks. Soul on the Rocks, 1967. I was negative 23, maybe? Is that the right math? 33, 23? I was negative something, bro. This does begin with a steady pace Motown jam. Gotta Have You Back, you know? Now there's a concept song, That's the Way. That's the Way, Love. Oh, That's the Way, Love. This is a upbeat song, upbeat Motown jam that does speak on love and how it is and how heartbreak makes you feel not so great. When you're in love, you actually feel pretty amazing. So that was pretty cool. Another concept song is Why When the Love Is Gone. This song is a groovy Motown jam that speaks about when the love is gone and why the heart holds on, which is very relative and a beautiful concept. A lot of people can understand when a breakup happens, you might still have feelings for the person. This is a song that represents that. Now, this Motown sound, I was just making a note here. The Motown sound just feels good. I am aware that I am at the beginning or the genesis of its style at this point, but after listening for a while, it just feels really good to listen to in my car. Really good to listen to in my car. Now, another concept song we have is Behind a Painted Smile. This is a song in relation to love and people that are either manipulative behind a smile or very sad behind a smile. So, good concept. Painted Smile. That'd be something to use. Now, the hits on this end up being Little Miss Sweetness, Tell Me It's Just a Rumor Baby, and Behind a Painted Smile. This album felt pretty good due to the Motown sound and the way that they sing, especially when they're singing about love so much. The album just feels really lively and good. Now, the content of this album was primarily love and heartbreak and things dealing with relationship, lies, infidelity, that type of stuff. My favorite song does end up being Behind a Painted Smile. This song is just a nice a nice upbeat Motown sound that is really relevant to a lot of humans. Honestly, just speaking on how we go through sadness and tragedy or heartbreak, and we still put on a smile, whether we're going through pain or not. So a lot of us can understand that. I think almost all humans can. Next, we have It's Our Thing. It's Our Thing, 1969. 1969. This opens with I Know Who You've Been Socking It To. This is a groovy Motown jam that's about catching somebody out cheating and telling them that you know that they cheated. And if you tell on me, then I'll tell on you. So they caught somebody else cheating, like at a club, whatever, and they both see each other, right? Don't tell my girl, I won't tell your girl. Type of thing, And I was like, I imagine this actually happens more often than I would give it credit for. So good, that's a nice opening song. Now, Save Me, this is a heartfelt Motown jam. This seems to be about the singer wanting to be saved from his promiscuous and prideful ways. I thought that was interesting. There's an outcry for help. How do you stop being prideful and promiscuous? Now, this album does feel a bit more pensive at the beginning due to Save Me and Feels Like the World. Those songs at the beginning of the album really did give it a sad feel, somber feel, pensive. Now, another concept song we have is It's Your Thing. That's a lively mega hit, very energetic song about coming to terms with a lady that you like that may end up having intercourse with another person, and whoever they like, it's your thing. So here we go. I got to get in cadence, This song, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. So it's like literally like, I can't tell you who to sock it to. It's your thing. Do what you do. They already knew. But We have another concept song here. Give the women what they want. Like the title, this is a steady pace Motown jam that is actually about servicing women in order to keep them around and keep them satisfied. I was like, oh wow, in 1969, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So that was a cool song right there. Now, there's a concept song here we got. It's called He's Got Your Love. This is an energetic Motown jam that it's an even tempo that is about a jealous lover. You know, this song just asks, what does he do that I didn't do? What does he have that I didn't have or that I don't have? You know, and if you've experienced any type of jealousy or envy, I forgot what the difference was right now, but if you've experienced any jealousy or envy, these are questions that you may have asked, you know, in regards to a relationship or another person. You don't even have to be in a relationship to feel like, dang, why he got bigger muscles, or why does he have this job, or why does she have, you know, this body, that type of stuff. The song is in relation to that for sure. Now, hits. The hits on this end up being It's Your Thing, Do What You Want to Do, That, Save Me, and I Know Who You've Been Socking It To. Socking It To is kind of wild. I think I'm gonna spin a block on that. I'm gonna see if I can bring that back. Who you socking it to? I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot. Now, the feel of this album, this had a bit of a balanced feel. There were a few songs that were somber with Save Me and Feels Like the World, but also a lot of energetic songs as well, maybe not a lot, but there were some high energy songs like It's Your Thing and a few others making the album have an energetic vibe at times, but also a sad vibe at times. Now, the content of this album was speaking about love, was speaking about lies, was speaking about the world being against you, was speaking about protecting your relationship and the possessiveness of said relationship, infidelity, and jealousy within a lost relationship. My favorite song ends up being Feels Like the World. This song has a sad blues kind of feel, and it's just something with so much emotional potency and power that forces you to be able to relate to the lyrics and that are being said. Also, It's Your Thing is my other favorite because it just feels so energetic, but at the same time coming to terms with allowing, quote unquote, allowing yourself to accept that someone that you like may end up smashing somebody else is probably good mentally for you, in my opinion. Now, you should, I like the acceptance, and that's why it ends up being like tied for my favorite song. Next album, we got the Brothers Isley. We're still in 1969. Yeah. Now, this starts with I Turned on You. This is a funky, steady pace jam that opens up the song. Now, there's another concept song called I Gotta Get Myself Together. This is an interesting pensive song that is about getting yourself together without an explanation of context before old age catches up with you. So like there's no, at this point in time, I looked up their ages, they weren't very old. They were in their 20s. So I imagine they were just like forecasting, or what do you call that? Looking into the future. They're like, oh, I got to get myself together before old age catches up with me. Cause yeah, I made a note. They're in their like late to the Isley brothers. They're in their late to early 20s, right? Or early to late 20s, I should say. Now, another song we have is Was It Good to Yourself? This was an energetic Motown jam that is about confronting a cheating partner and asking, was the person in the affair good to them? Because they want to know. It's destructive questions. I would not be asking that. Just move on. Don't need a why. If that's what happens, if you believe you can forgive, then communication is necessary. If not, get the fuck out of there or start plotting to get out of there. Once they break that trust and betrayal, it's time to dip. That's my idea. I haven't always done that, but that is what I would like to do if that ever happened. Now, there's another concept song we got here is called Get Down Off the Train. This is a Motown jam about pleading to a lady to get down off the train and stay with me. Keep in mind, this is the 60s, right? So trains were a bit more prevalent. trains were built with prolapse, so I imagine there was a lady he was in a relationship with, and she was about to leave via train. So he's pleading, get down off the train. That's 4 pleading songs, bro. We pleading all day. Lady, get off the train and stay with me. Now, there's another song called The Blacker the Berry. This song is a groovy Motown sounding song that seems like a reminiscing of the past when the Isley brothers were younger and detailing some of the fruits they used to like and apparently tomato theft. But it was a cool, it was a cool joint. The hits on this end up being The Blacker the Berry and I Turned You On. Now, the feel of this was a bit of a mixed bag. This album had its moments of sadness with Was He Good to You and I Gotta Get Myself Together, but it also has some uplifting songs like The Blacker the Berry and also I Turned You On. So a lively but pensive feel once again at the same time. A good balance. The content of this album was talking about love, infidelity, being a better person for the future, and a little bit of the past for the Isley brothers. Now, my favorite song ends up being I've Got to Get Myself Together. This song is a bit somber, but the message is very clear. Is that improvement is desired as they age. And I super can relate to that. Hopefully you can too. Next album we got is Get Into Something. Get Into Something came out in 1970. -20 I was. This does begin with the self-titled song. It's a Motown jam about telling people to follow him and getting into something fun or, get into some positivity that takes them out of the sadness. So I was like, that's cool. Another song we got is Freedom. This is a powerful Motown jam that is about being free and being able to be what you want to be, do what you want to do, live the way you want to live. And this is 1970. I'm keep it a buck. There was some stuff going on back in 1970 that may have not let you feel so free as a black person. So, I imagine this was a very relevant song at the time. Now, there's another concept song, Take Inventory. This is a Motown jam about paying attention to your situation in your relationship in order to avoid being manipulated. Just take inventory. I like that phrase. It's a good phrase. I have another song called I Gotta Find Me One. This is a beautiful, slow, and jazzy song about wanting to find one lady that will love him for him and treat him with care. That's, beautiful. That's all a lot of people want. Now, there's another song here we got. It's called Bless Your Heart. This does seem like an imitation of It's Your Thing. It's pretty odd, though, considering the vocals are sung in a similar rhythm as well. Keep in mind, it was Bless Your Heart, right? So It's Your Thing is, what is it? It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. And I wrote this in a way that I could repeat this and how it was sung. And Bless Your Heart is sung, bless your heart, loving me like you do. Bless your soul. Hey, baby, I love you too. You hear the similarities? I certainly did. I was like, that's interesting. It's like a rendition of it, with the same vocal style. It's interesting. Now, the hits end up being Freedom and Get Into Something. This album felt energetic. It just had a fun feel to it outside of the emotionally potent, more sad songs. But the feel was a nice Motown feel and still funky and groovy at the same time. Now, the content, this was about dancing, love, and wanting a relationship, freedom, and the beauty of being free. My favorite song ends up being Bless Your Heart. This song, it does just feel good. I understand that maybe they were trying to imitate, or they did fully imitate It's Your Thing, just with different lyrics. The instrumentation was very similar on it as well. But honestly, I like the flip. And the song feels good. Like, man, what do you want? All right, next we got Giving It Back. 1971. This opens with Ohio. Now, Ohio is a more serious Motown song. Keep in mind that the Isley Brothers are from Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio to be exact, 2 hours east of me. Now, uh, they have this is a serious Motown song about the losses of life in Ohio, and what if you knew the people that lost their lives? I was like, oh, this is rather intense in comparison to what we've been talking about. Now, there's another concept song on this album called Fire and Rain. This is a beautiful, slower paced Motown jam that is about believing that they would see a person again. And this can be relating to somebody dying or possibly being on the road and traveling through shows and like maybe seeing them again, or coming back to a city and seeing a person. But the way it was sung, it was still pretty emotionally potent. Now, the vocal style on this album feels more energetic and more improvisational based on Nothing to Do But Today, Fire and Rain, and Spill the Wine. Their vocal styles were noticeably different than what I had been listening to. Now, there's a concept song called Cold Bologna. This is a smooth Motown joint about the appreciation of a small meal. Cold bologna and bread. Very relevant to me, considering my go-to snack at youth was a bologna sandwich with ketchup. Call me gross if you want to. I love me a little. We always had bread in a spot, a little Wonder Bread. We always had a little bread in a spot, and we always had bologna. And whenever I wanted something to eat and we didn't have dinner or no real food, I went in the refrigerator. Bread, bologna, ketchup. That's real life. That's real life. Now, there's another song on here called Warpath. This is a scornful, upbeat song that is about being angry or on a warpath with a friend, or someone that you thought was your friend that has taken your mate, and the feelings that are associated with that, the aggression that comes with the pain. So, very relevant. Very relevant. I felt like I was on a warpath before. So I understand in the past, my younger self. Now the hits on this end up being Lay, Lady Lay, and Love the One You're With. Now the feel of this album was very lively and extra energetic due to the vocals. It seems that there was more improvisation or just more belting out or pronouncing. I don't really know exactly what was so different that caught my ear. But if you listen to this album, maybe you'll notice, especially if you listen to the other albums prior to this. But it was still energetic and emotionally potent. The content of this album touched on love, touched on being scorned from cheating, touched on betrayal and lives being lost and hard times of the poor as well. My favorite song ends up being Ohio. This song kicks off the album with a bit of a serious tone because it is about the loss of lives in Ohio, but the way it's sung and the rhythm is fantastic. Also, at some point in the middle of the song, I believe Jimi Hendrix is dead at this point, and like freshly dead. I believe Jimi Hendrix died in 1970, I want to say. Let me confirm. Talk to me. When he died? Yep, 1970. Look at me knowing stuff. I got the facts in my brain. Facts in my brain. I forgot what album we was on. Get into something. There we go. Now, why was I bringing that up? Oh man, did I just get lost? Yucky. Oh, I was talking about Ohio, right? So, at some point, in the middle of the song, I do believe Jimi Hendrix is dead at this point, freshly dead, but maybe the singer actually imitates the guitar solo, so that they would imagine Jimi Hendrix would play. So it was pretty fun to listen to. So it was very interesting to hear like somebody try to belt out like what a guitar would sound like. It was really interesting on Ohio on that song. Now, next we have Brother, 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 or Giving It Back, huh? Did I skip one of these? Oh no, that was on Giving It Back. Okay, so I was on the wrong page. Gotcha. Yeah, I was on the wrong page. That album was Giving It Back. Okay. I was gonna say, what the heck? Alright, so now we're on Brother was released in 72, it looks like. 72. This opens with Brother. This is a smooth, classic Isley Brothers feeling song that is about the positive relationship of the brothers, understanding that the brothers go through things and that they always have their backs for each other. It's a beautiful song. Now, it's a concept song called Work to Do. This is a soulful Motown jam explaining to a partner that you have work to do and that you're trying to make it and make some of yourself, and that takes a lot of time and work. So gotta explain that. Now, Pop That Thing. This is a smooth and peculiar song, maybe for dancing or for dance moves, but Pop That Thing, this might be the first time ever seeing it on a song. Pop That Thing, 1972. That's pretty early to hear Pop That Thing. You know, there's a lot of Pop That Things that's out now, but this is 72. It might be the first. Now, another concept song, Layaway. This is a smooth, fun-feeling song that is about putting somebody's love on layaway and stating that everybody needs somebody to love on a rainy day. I was like, I don't disagree, but it's a little funny. Putting somebody's love on layaway, but I'm come back and buy it from the stove. Now, Bluesfield joint. Now we got. Oh, we're going into the hits. Now the hits are Brother is Too Late and Work to Do. The feel of this album had a bit more of a blues feel to it. There are songs on it that dominate. And It's Too Late, along with Pop That Thing, and also Brother all have a pensive blues tone, and that makes it feel somewhat somber and emotionally potent. This album's content was about brotherly loves, about dance, and also working hard, and of course about love. My favorite song ends up being It's Too Late. This song is just very beautifully sung and very heartfelt. It does speak on growing apart, and it speaks on one of us changing and the both of us not trying hard enough to keep the relationship going. Truly a sad song and very realistic and relevant to relationships today in real life. Now, we have 3+3. This begins with Mega Jam, groovy funk style, That Lady. This is a song about a lady that catches your eye. Who's that lady? Now you know what I'm talking about. Now, there's a concept song called You Walk Your Way. This is a beautiful song. This is actually a breakup song, speaking to them losing love and interest in each other over time. And the song says, you walk your way, I'll walk mine. Now, I did notice an uptick in guitar solos, and they are very dope. Sunshine and What It Comes Down To as well. Now, Summer Breeze, this is a huge sample, very soulful, very mellow, very chill, and memorable guitar play. If I could imitate the sound, I don't know if you'll understand me by doing the sound. It's this ba-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. Maybe you get what I'm talking about, maybe you don't. But this song, I believe, is this song has that. Yes, Summer Breeze. Gotcha. Now, the fee. I'm not at the field yet. Nice try. Summer Breeze makes me feel fine. Now, the concept song there's a concept song here that's The Highways of My Life. This is a beautiful song that's actually piano driven, where the singer is speaking about the path of his life and trying to stay in his lane and not veer off the path. But it is just sung in a very potent way. Very, very potent way. Now, the hits on this end up being Who's That Lady, Summer Breeze, and Highways of My Life. This album felt extremely smooth, like one of the coolest of cool feelings you could have while listening, especially with the songs like Who's That Lady, Highways of My Life, and Summer Breeze all being very fantastic. Now, the content, this album was speaking about love, was speaking about women to catch your eye, was speaking about relationships, and a relaxing day, and staying on your own path of life. Now, my favorite song ends up being Highways of My Life and Summer Breeze. These two songs are two of the best songs that I've heard as a whole on their catalog. Summer Breeze is just a relaxing, is just a very relaxing, somewhat repetitive, but very relaxing jam with phenomenal guitar play. Now, the Highways of My Life that actually follows this song, and it is a very relaxing and chill feeling song, but you still feel the emotional potency of it. The singing is truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. Now, next we have Live It Up. Live It Up. We're going to 1974. 1974. Now, this starts with the self-titled groovy jam that does feel very fun and energetic. It is about people having a groove or having a, live it up, essentially. The song's called Live It Up. So you got to live it up, have fun, and, dance a little, have a good time. Now, Midnight Sky, this is a groovy jam that is about wanting to have a lady under the midnight sky and have a good time. It's a fun song. Now, there's another concept song here called Need a Little Taste of Love. This is a groovy funk song that is about, it's simply speaking about the title. Everybody needs a little taste of love. There's no need to deny it or fight it. Everybody needs a little taste of love. Now, the albums keep getting smoother and smoother as they just feel so urbane, debonair, polished, silky, effortless, suave. I was just thinking of words that my brain felt while listening to the music and albums, and these were words that came to mind. Now, there's another concept song called Lover's Eve. This is a beautiful, pensive, steady-paced song that seems to be about the day before Valentine's Day and not having a lover, hence Lover's Eve, stating that the sadness from not having a lover before Lover's Eve as Lover's Day passes by. Now, there's a note I made here. Midnight Sky does have an oddly similar style to Who's That Lady, instrumentally speaking. So we got It's Your Thing, got Bless Your Heart, and now we have Who's That Lady in Midnight Sky. I was like, hold on. Now, also, there's a sample recognition here. It's Hello, a song called Hello in this, and maybe you'll recognize Hello. It's that's, I didn't know that the sample came from these guys, but now I know, and now you do too if you recognize my terrible singing. Now, the hits in this end up being Hello, It's Me, and Live It Up. The feel of this album is just super cool. The reason I picked these guys is because I knew that they were just really smooth and cool. But this album, and the last specifically, just has the silky, urbane, debonair, swag to it. Now, there is another more sample recognition. Ain't I Been Good to You? This is the song, the One Day You're Here, Baby, and Then You're Gone. That, sung terribly by me, is actually the song One Day. One Day from UGK. I actually did a StryfeSight on UGK. You can head to the YouTube, go back a little bit to the StryfeSights. You'll see, StryfeSight on UGK. I covered the song. It's one of my favorite songs from UGK, actually. But yeah, this is the original song. It's called Ain't I Been Good to You. Now, the content of this album was more of the same, but it is just still beautiful the way they speak about love and the way that they touch on hard life and the way they speak about heartbreak and the way that they tell you how to dance and, tell you how to dance, tell you how to dance or tell you to dance. That's what I meant to say. Now, my favorite song ends up being Ain't I Been Good to You. This song is broken up into two parts, right? And there's a full version that has both together. And it just has the beautiful singing of Ron Isley. The One Day You're Here and Then You're Gone, combined with Ernie Isley and his amazing rock funk guitar style, reminiscent of Jimi Hendrix. This is a combo. Honestly, Ernie has been stealing the show for me when he gets a chance to do his solos, and I am very impressed. Hello, It's Me and even Midnight Sky, are both nominees for favorite song on the album as well. Now, next we have The Heat Is On. The Heat Is On, 1975. Now, this opens with Fight the Power. This is a groovy upbeat jam that's about fighting the power, the powers that be, the powers that limit your ability to be free. Oh, that was interesting. Now, another concept song, The Heat Is On, self-titled. This is a funk jam about turning on your swag, The heat is on, it's in a reference of like the heat is like, I'm here, that is that type of energy. It's a reference to the music being made, or it's a reference to the music being made, being heat, like the heat is on, like, oh, I turn on that Isley brother, the heat is on, either way. It's still very funky, very funky, suave, and cool, Hope You Feel Better Love is another groovy jam, but this one has another one of those ridiculously creative, funky guitar solos from Ernie Isley. This dude honestly is amazing. I just typed that in there. That's cool. Now there's a concept song here, For the Love of You. This is a key song of reference for the Isley brothers. Drifting on a memory. Ooh. I don't know if I hit that right or not. I tried. I'm not Ron Isley, bro. I'm not. I just love to sing it, bro. I can emulate a little bit. Let me hold on. Let me clear my throat. Let me drink some water. Let me see if I can hit that real good one time. All right, I got the water. All right, you ready? About to hit this. Drifting on a memory. Ooh. That's the one right there. You could, hey, we need a duet right now. He like 87, and I want the duet right now. Right now. But anyway, For the Love of You. This song is just a beautiful and timeless song. It is about living for another person in a relationship. This is a mother. This song could be related to motherhood. This song could be related to fatherhood. This song could be related to grief. This song could be related to marriage, or it could be related to getting married. This is boyfriend, girlfriend, niece, nephew, uncle, living for the love of you. If you really love somebody, you can also live for them, for the love of you. It's just beautiful, and it has some amazing and timeless vocals. It's one of my favorite records of all time, actually. Now, it really does seem like most of the songs on this project are just some of the smoothest of the smooth, effortlessly beautiful songs that just make you feel so relaxed and so chill and so loved. Now, the hits on this album end up being For the Love of You, Fight the Power, Make Me Say It Again, Sensuality, and Hope You Feel Better, Love. Now, the feel of this album, once again, just like the last albums, it just feels the utmost of smooth and suaveness with the vocals and the funky soul feeling of the guitar style. And, it did feel a little more sensual, as they normally do speak on love and relationships, but not specifically sex. I do believe sex was spoken about before, but maybe this is one of the first or earlier times in their catalog for sure. Now, the content of this album is the usual, love, relationships, the desire of love, or the relaxation of love as well, the way of life, the way you live life. But they also do get sensual, and they speak on sex, or maybe foreplay, not exactly sex. Now, my favorite song ends up being For the Love of You. This song is just too classic and too timeless. If I had to make a top 10 for songs, or maybe top 5s, I believe that this would be somewhere in it for sure. The singing is just too beautiful. The background instrumentation is fantastic. That goes along with the vocals very well. I just love this song. This was my favorite song of their catalog before I knew before I've done this, right? Well before I've done this. Now, next album we got Harvest for the World, 1976. This opens with an emotional, slower paced, self-titled prelude, actually, that thanks the people. Harvest for the World. Now, there's a song, Who Loves You Better? This is a funky, upbeat jam about who can love you better, as the title suggests. But this song is just really cool and funky. There's an awesome guitar solo in the middle of it too. Now, we have another concept song, You Are Love. This is a beautiful song that's emotionally potent. It's a mega jam also. It's got a famous sample. How can I do this? The famous sample recognition. It's a let me know, let me know, let me know. If you recognize that at all, boom, sample, gotcha. I've heard that in multiple songs as well. But the song is about letting a partner know that they are loved and appreciated, even in times where you can be tired. Beautiful message. Now we have another song, Let Me Down Easy. This is a suave song that details of what I believe to be convincing that you should not let him down, or should not break up with him, I guess, in a hard way. But if you do, break up with me nicely. Don't just do nothing crazy. Don't just leave and move out of town. I might have to beg you and make a pleading song, But yeah, it was an interesting song. Now the hits in this end up being Let Me Down, Harvest for the World, You Are Love. Now the feel of this album was more of the same emotional potency, but it was also very, the very cool and suave vibe, like as you could imagine. The content of this album is speaking about love, relationships being broken up with, and heartbreak. My favorite song ends up being You Are Love. This is another beautiful, timeless sounding groove that is speaking on love in a relationship or love with a person. And it just feels really good to listen to and to think of somebody that you feel fond of with. Indeed. Now we have, I have to do some scrolling. Go for your guns. Gotta go down. Okay, maybe not. I went too far down. Oh no, I lost myself. No. Maybe I didn't lost myself. Losed myself. I losed myself. All right, man. There we go. Go for your guns. All right. Now Go For Your Guns in 1977. This opens with the Pride Funky Jam about self-confidence being necessary to continue pushing through life's trials. Then we have sample recognition, Footsteps in the Dark. This is, I knew this song before I knew Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Today was a good day. That guitar, this song, Footsteps in the Dark, concept song is also a concept song as well. This is a dark mega jam and with a classic R&B spin that speaks on the confrontation of a partner asking, why do I keep hearing footsteps in the dark? Obviously, they're sneaking out and cheating or getting a midnight snack. One of those. Now, I do love the funky style and Ernie's guitar play is amazing on multiple tracks. It's just something I had to note. Now, there's another concept song, Voyage to Atlantis. This is a beautiful yet somewhat pensive R&B song that speaks on always returning to a person through the metaphor of Atlantis. Even if things are tough or if adversity hits, I'll always come back to you. Beautiful. Beautiful message. Now, as another concept song we got here is Go For Your Guns. This is not necessarily a concept song. It was just primarily a fire instrumental for Ernie to, ascend with his guitar play. It's only 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but it was cool. Now, the hits on this end up being Climbing the Ladder, Voyage to Atlantis, and Footsteps in the Dark. Now, the feel of this album felt funky, lively, and just fun. Although there are some potent emotional songs on this, the funk style lived more to me on this album. This album did speak on self-confidence and pride, working and pushing through hard times and always returning to your lover despite hard times, and sneaky infidelity. My favorite song ends up being Voyage to Atlantis. This song is just really sweet and a bit somber, but I do love the message of it. No matter the hard times, I'll always come back to you. It's a beautiful message. Now I believe we're going to Showdown. Classic Dante song where, Dante does, it's not Dante, it's Nero. Classic Nero song where Nero does a bunch of attacks followed by a slash with an X. No. Now, Showdown we got at 1978. This does begin with a self-titled jam that seems to be about confronting something or addressing something to whereas a showdown will occur, and that said something is a lover that is cheating. Now, there's another song here. Groove With You is a suave sounding song about wanting to groove with another. I imagine groove could be related to dancing or sex, or be with, a relationship. One of those three, I would imagine. Now, there's another song we have here called Ain't Giving Up No Love. This is a blues rock joint about not being willing to give up love after being treated poorly. There's also some powerful guitar play in this as well. Now, we have another concept song called Fun and Games. This is a beautifully sung song about fun and games not being all there is to the idea of love. And it's time for the cats to eat. Now, this album does have more of a blues vibe to it with a few of the tracks, Love Fever and Take Me to the Next Place. But the hits on this album end up being Groove With You and Coolin' Me Out. This album felt similar to the others, but this was like blues, smooth R&B, soulful singing with an emotional tone, an energetic feel also happens when the pace picks up. Now, the content of this album, it spoke of love, it spoke of dancing, dating games and fun, heartbreak, and relationship pain. Now, my favorite song ends up being Groove With You. This is another mega classic record that just feels so chill and really fun to listen to. Next, we have Winner Takes All, 1979. So this starts with I Want to Be With You. This is an upbeat jam that's about foreplay and sex soon to happen. Now, there's a song called Liquid Love. This is a funk jam that's about sex and how it would be. So, Liquid Love, that's an interesting analogy for sex. This album is definitely more sexual for real. I had definitely noticed the tone and like the lyrics and what they were talking about. Now, the concept song Winner Take All is another funk jam that seems to be about speaking to a lady to come play this game where the winner takes all. It's like a sensual game. Now, we have another concept song, Let's Fall in Love. This is a beautiful, slow-paced record that is singing exactly as the title suggests, but in a very smooth way. Now, we have another song, Love Comes and Goes. This is a beautiful song about love being fleeting as it comes and goes. The ebbs and flows of life and love. Now, the hits in this end up being How Lucky Am I and Let's Fall in Love. This album felt pretty energetic, maybe due to the infused funk and disco. There were more disco tracks or more fun tracks that were more upbeat and more emotional, slower songs. Now, the content in this, the topics were dancing, love, intimate actions, it is interesting to me how they are avoiding saying explicitly sexual things, but insinuating sexual things, like you and me tonight. Many other different ways to say like you and me tonight, or let's lay together, or let's groove. Like they're saying stuff like that. So, what am I listening to? Is this still Tekken? Yes, it is. Okay, never mind. Let's keep going. um, but yeah, they have a lot of ways to go around saying I want to fuck you, but it is cool how they're dancing around it. It is a vibe. It is a groove. Now, my favorite song ends up being "How Lucky I Am." This is a beautiful song that is about what the title suggests, but it is, just feeling lucky to be with someone, and I feel very relevant to, the topic of the song. I like it. I like it a lot. Next we have Go All the Way. Go All the Way 1980. We've made it to the 80s. I'm -10. Now this does begin with a funk-filled self-titled jam that is about encouragement of following through. No half stepping now are actually lyrics inside the song. Now, there's a song here called Pass It On. This is a smooth, funky, upbeat song that I believe may be the first time I've heard the phrase pass on the vibes, as this song is about passing on positive vibes between people. But keep in mind, this is 1980. Now, vibes, it feels very popular these days, right? Everybody's like, yeah, just a chill vibe, I'm just vibing, that type of stuff. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. That's 10 years ago, right? But 1980, I don't want to say this is the first time, but it definitely would be one of the most earlier times that vibes was used. And, in song, I imagine. All right. Now, we have another song, Here We Go Again. This is a silky smooth jam that is about coming back to a lover. Here we go again. After maybe a breakup or maybe just some sort of disconnection, and then returning for the reconnection. Here we go again. Now, we have another song, Don't Say Goodnight. This is a slower paced R&B sensual song that is about prolonging the evening. Don't say goodnight. The time for love is close by. Intimate actions, vertical movements, horizontal movements. You know what's up. Now, the hits on this album end up being Here We Go Again and Don't Say Goodnight. This album had a bit more of a sensual feel to it. It does feel like they're gradually getting more sensual as the albums have been going, as the time has been going, with closer comments to let's make love, to let's have sex and let's be next to each other in bed at night. So the feel is also reflecting that. But other than that, it is still groovy, funky, and emotionally potent. The content was touching on dancing, wanting to see ladies dance for you, and love making and flirting in general. My favorite song ends up being Don't Say Goodnight. This is another classic, well, at least to me it is, in their catalog, due to it just being very sweet and a very sensual way to ask, hey, don't go to sleep. It's time to make love. I like that. I'm going to use that. Now, we got Grand Slam 1981. This opens with Tonight Is the Night. This is a smooth, slower R&B joint. If I had, let's see, whoa. Yeah, this is a slower paced R&B joint that's speaking on tonight being the night, for intercourse, and how sweet life would be if the intercourse led into a relationship. So I was like, nice. This is the first time we do get talking intros on the track, and in the middle of it, there was like some smooth talking. I can't wait to see you tonight. Like, in the middle and in the beginning of the songs. So I thought that was cool. Now, the concept song I have is I Once Had Your Love. This is a beautiful, steady paced jam that speaks on having someone's love and not being able to let go of it. So somewhat pleading to allow them to be a part of the love again. I once had your love, let me have it again. Because they can't let it go. Now we have another song called Young Girls. This is a groovy song that's speaking about younger girls in the context of younger adult girls. The Isley brothers range from about 29 to 40 at this point. So speaking on younger girls, like, is likely something that they've had experience on and may had presently been, you know. But the main focus of the song, in my opinion, is Ernie Isley and his two chances for guitar solos that I just liked a bunch. Now, there's a song here called Who Said? This is a groovy uptown jam that is about upbeat jam that is actually about being a defendant or just being in defense of somebody's accusations in a relationship. About someone saying that you used a different name or that you were with my friend, rumors, and the defense of those is what this song is about. Who said? Who said I was doing this? Who said I was doing that? Now, the hits in this end up being Tonight Is the Night and I Once Had Your Love. This album felt more funkier. It was more of a upbeat blues feel, even though there are a few sensual, emotional tracks, but the feel is energetic, and it was energetic and fun with, like, you know, kind of a dancey kind of vibe. The content in this album was talking about sex and missing a lover, relationships, younger girls, as, you know, as somewhat of an older man, party nights and the excitement that comes with that, and the excitement that knowing, you know, oh, it's party night tonight, we about to turn up, you know, that type of vibe. That was the content of the album. My favorite song ends up being Tonight Is the Night. This song is just extremely smooth and definitely makes you feel the vibe of what we're about to get into later tonight. Phrases like, I'm going to give you all I have and then some, you know, stuff like that is said in there, you know, the vibes, them's the vibes. Now, Inside You, moving on to 1981. This starts with a funky jam, Inside You, self-titled, that speaks on wishing a lady knew what was inside of me, but also wanting to get inside of her. Nice little flip on words. Now, Baby Hold On, this is a very sweet song about being away from a lover and telling them to hold on, as you can't wait to be with them and love on them and appreciate their presence. But until you get there, baby, hold on. Now, Love Merry-Go-Round is a beautiful song that is about being caught in a woman's web of love, you know, or their love merry-go-round and wanting more attention. She has the power in that situation. Now, we have another song called Love Zone. This is a groovy jam about him and her moving around in a zone of love, you know, kind of like a web of love. Maybe, I don't know. You understand what I'm talking about. A zone of love. Romantically and, you know, fun times on the night inside of the zone of love. Now, the hits in this end up being Don't Hold Back Your Love and Inside You. This album had more of a funky feel to it, more of a groovy disco kind of feel, and also emotionally potent, you know, love revolving at times. The content was about love, but it was also about being stuck loving somebody that doesn't love you back, you know, or loving at a distance, you know, and also the feelings that are associated with dancing, and, you know, just it was fun content. Favorite song ends up being Love Merry-Go-Round. This song is very relevant. If you've ever liked someone that hasn't liked you before, I have, or loved them and they haven't loved you back, the song feels, you know, very much so like a representation of that. And I super relate to that in my past. Now, onward. I believe we're past half. I don't know how many albums they got. I think it's 33. So we're about past half. The Real Deal, 1982. 1982 opens with a self-titled funky jam that states that he is the real deal, as something that many people would like to understand if the reputation and perception of the person is the reality when up close. So this is also my first time hearing voice altering effects, you know, one of the earlier kinds, not auto-tune, because auto-tune was made in 97. So this was maybe some sort of synthesizer or some. I looked up different ways and there were a bunch of different ways to accomplish voice alteration in the 80s. So I could not figure out which type that they used. Now, they have a song called It's Alright With Me. This is a smooth and funky jam with the idea that they are all right with another guy being a part of the picture, as long as when they come around, that guy is nowhere to be found. So kind of like a sugar daddy or out of town boyfriend, or I don't know, something like that maybe. Now there's another concept song here, I'll Do It All. This is another nice sweet song that is about doing everything, you know, for a specific person because you love them so much. Now, the song here called Under the Influence, this is a blues rock joint where Ernie gets to go crazy with the guitar and with some blues vocals that are, you know, about being in love. Under the influence, as in like love is like the influence that you're under. The hits in this end up being I'll Do It All For You and All in My Lover's Eye. The feel of this album was groovy and lovey-dovey at times. This album spoke on love and the trap of being in love and being in an open relationship. My favorite song ends up being I'll Do It All For You. This is just a very sweet but sensual song about how far someone is willing to go for another. And I can heavily relate. Heavily relate. What in the heck? Crazy cats. Now, we're moving on to Between the Sheets. Between the Sheets. Now, this starts with Choosy Lover. This is a very slow and sensual feeling jam that is about a picky girl that chooses you, you know? Now, there's a concept song here, Between the Sheets. This is a sensual and suave R&B joint that is about how it feels romantically in an intimate setting between two. Now, this is the mega classic song that Biggie used on, I believe, Big Papa. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. That song, the background to that is this song. So the instrumental, you know, it came from this. You know, Between the Sheets. Ooh, ooh, baby, baby. Is a mega classic song. Now, we have another song here called Ballad for the Fallen Soldiers. This is a funky guitar heavy song that represents the title very well. Ernie is going crazy on the guitar with this. Now, there's another concept song here, Slow Down Children. This is a funky song that speaks to the youth to slow down with their fast-paced lifestyles. Now, I have another song here called Getting Over. This is a cool upbeat jam about staying strong, perseverance, and keeping a positive mindset amidst stress. Now, the hits on this album end up being Between the Sheets, Choosy Lover, I Need Your Body, Let's Make Love Tonight, and Touch Me. A lot of hits on this album. A lot of hits. This is a big album. Big album, probably one of their biggest. I don't know how to measure that, and that is not the point of this video. So we will continue the content. I mean, the feel of this album was very similar to others. It was funky, energetic, smooth, debonair, especially emotional when they slow it down, but overall a really cool feel. Now, the content of this album was a bit disparate due to Ballad of the Fallen Soldiers and Slow Down Children, as they have never attempted songs that touch these topics before. So it was kind of weird. But other than that, they normally covered, it was love, intimacy, romance, and dance was all still a part of the content as well. Now, my favorite song ends up being Between the Sheets. This song is just a mega classic song, and it is a mood setter. Yes, it has been used by Stryfe. And I will continue to use it as I do love the tone, the pace, and the vocal style. It's just so smooth. It just makes you feel like you can seduce, even if you don't even have the confidence in yourself to believe you can do that. The song just makes you feel like that. Ooh, baby, baby. Like, it just, I'm not gonna keep messing up their songs. Y'all can go listen to them so y'all can understand the heat. I'm not gonna keep messing up their songs with my terrible singing. Now we got 1973's masterpiece. Now this opens with May I. This is a sensual and pleading. That's 5 pleading songs. 5 of them. 5 pleading songs. This is to simply ask, may I have another chance at making love? It is beautifully sung, of course. Now, My Best was good enough. This is another smoothly sung song about self-validation, stating that I tried my best and it was enough, even if the relationship failed. It's just speaking to the effort put into a partnership that doesn't work out. So it's good to have that kind of confidence. Now, Colder Are My Nights. This is a beautiful, beautiful song, smooth, slow, and soulful jam that is about the feeling after a relationship is broken up and your evenings are just colder without another person. We have another song here, Release Your Love. This is a sweet song speaking on a lover that is afraid to express themselves fully and love you fully. So you tell them that, hey, release your love. You know, you can be full and free with me. But it was sung in a beautiful way. Now, there's another concept song here, The Most Beautiful Girl. This is a slow and emotionally potent song that is about after a fight with a woman, like a verbal fight with a woman, storming off, and the guy is searching for her, looking around, asking them if they've seen the most beautiful girl, in order to find her after the dispute that they had. Now, the hits in this end up being May I and If Leaving Me Is Easy. This album felt more emotionally potent. There weren't any dance songs on this. They had prioritized to tell you to dance in albums in the past, but this had mostly heartbreak and love topics, which was fine, but it made the album feel romantic and more emotional. Now, the content of this album spoke on heartbreak, spoke on love, and another chance at intimacy, loneliness, and romance. My favorite song ends up being May I. This song is a cute rendition or revision of Between the Sheets. So we have another that sounds pretty similar. If you listen to them both back to back, you'll hear the instrumental similarities, but this song is still sung pretty soulfully. And I still like the message. May I have another chance to make love? It's not a bad way to ask, in my opinion. Next, we got Smooth Sailing. We're going on to 1987. This opens with Everything Is Alright. This is a steady pace jam about letting go of the pain, letting go of the sadness, the life struggles, and realizing that everything is alright and things will be better. Good message to start the album. Now, we have Dish It Out. This is a sensual, upbeat song that seems to be about someone being able to dish it out. But the question is, how much can they take? This is an essential text, not a physical, physical or verbal, right? Now we have Send a Message. This is a fun funk song that's about maintaining communication when at distance. There are no cell phones in the 80s. So when you're at distance, the only thing you could really do is send a letter. And that is what this song is about, staying in communication at distance. Now, we have another concept song, Smooth Sailing, the self-titled song. This is a silky smooth R&B song that's about relying on him to give a smooth and relaxing experience to the partner. I like that. The hits on this end up being Everything Is Alright and Smooth Sailing. This album had a bit of a romantic feel to it, but also a silky smooth feeling, with Send a Message, Smooth Sailing, Dish It Out, Everything Is Alright. All of these tracks make you feel the romance and, makes you feel the romance in the air. Now, this album did speak about dating, helping a partner relax, and loving while at distance, and romance in general. My favorite song ends up being Send a Message. This song is about keeping the communication when at distance or if something's wrong. And this is something that people still need to do today. This is something that I tell people that ask me to help, ask me about relationship assistance. I tell them to do that. And it doesn't even have to be romantic. This could be friendship or family. Communication is key, is something that we've heard a bunch, but truly it is. Like, quit being afraid to confront your problems with people and talk to people about it, or risk toxic situations. This is what happens. You don't communicate about your issues and your problems, toxic shit happens. And I don't just mean like relationships. I mean shit inside you too. So like health wise is what I'm talking about. So get better at communicating. It is very important for your life and the people around you as well. Now, Spend the Night is 1989. Dang, we getting up there. This starts with the self-titled soft R&B jam about why leave after a date, after, an intimate setting. You could just stay or, spend the night. The song suggests it in a really beautiful way to, persuade, like, you don't have to leave, spend the night. I like that. Now, we have One of a Kind. This is a beautiful, smooth song about a woman that is one of a kind and singing and telling and admitting the same thing, the said things as well. Now, Come Together. This is a funk song that is about coming together for the Lord in the hard times. And this actually features a rapper, one of their first rap features. Now, there is Baby Come Back Home. This is a beautiful R&B sounding song that is about coming home, or is about coming back and wanting a broken up partner to come back and admitting the fault of the relationship was your fault to get them to come back in a relationship. Damn near pleading song. I think we on 6 pleads. 6 pleads? 6 pleads. I got 6 pleads. Maybe. I'm not. Maybe. I don't know. Vocal sample alert at Baby Come Back Home at 3:45. It's this is okay. I gotta prep myself. I gotta sing. Y'all ready for this? Get my singing juice. Now this is a vocal sample. I'm gonna sing it like this so you understand. It's a chick singing this. I believe it is Angela Winbush. It's love's too good to turn out bad. I thank the Lord for what I had. I'm a faithful girl and always true. My crown baby is loving you. That sounds exactly like the rhythm of Maxwell's hit Fortunate, which came out 10 years after. Fortunate to have you, girl. Want you to know you're in my world. Something like that. I don't think I remember. I just remember the song being Fortunate. So I was like, hold on, vocal sample alert. I noted that thing right there. Hopefully you guys know the song so you understand what I'm talking about. But if not, do some research. Maxwell Fortunate and Isley Brothers Baby Come Back Home. Hit that thing. Now, the hits on this end up being Spend the Night and Baby Come Back Home. This album felt romantic and sensual due to most of the songs being about intimacy or love. This album's content touched on love, intimacy, missing a partner, trying to convince a former partner to come back to a relationship as well. My favorite song ends up being Baby Come Back Home. This song is just a vibe for sure, but I do like the duet action on this from Ron and his wife, Angela Winbush. I believe they weren't married at the time, but they ended up being married for a short amount of time. And she has a few songs that she's in their catalog. Now we have Tracks of Life. We are into 1992. Whoop whoop, I was too. Now this opens with Get My Licks. This is a 90s Michael Jackson sounding track about getting into action, or getting in some romantic action. Let me get my licks in. Apparently used in a way to get in the action in some sort of way. Now there's a song here called Searching for a Miracle. This is a smooth R&B joint about looking for an endlessly miraculous love. I thought that was beautiful. Bedroom Eyes is a sensual song that was a sensual song about when a lady is looking at you with sensual intention, bedroom eyes, and you know how that feels. I'm a big fan of talking about eyeballs, like, because eye communication is its own language. And if you don't understand it, then you just don't care about it. But me personally, I like it a lot. I always have. And it's also partly why I'm in a relationship I am in now. Thanks. But now we have Morning Love. This is a lively, upbeat R&B joint that speaks on an intimate experience the night before and dreaming about it and then wanting intimacy in the morn after waking. So it was cool. There in this album, there is an odd amount of instrumental similarities to Michael Jackson's music. Red Hot and Get My Lick specifically sound exactly like Michael Jackson could be on the song. With just you, if you listen to the songs and like you listen and you know a few Michael Jackson songs, you'd be like, dang, this sound like Michael Jackson would be on it. But yeah, for real. Maybe I don't know if there was a similar production person for both of these, for both MJ and the Isley brothers at this time. That's probably what I would guess. Now, there's a concept song here, Brazilian Wedding Song. This is minimal instrumentals on this song. This is just a heartfelt song about getting married and the symbolism of the rings. Now, here's a concept song right here, Turn on the Demon. This is a strange themed song about a demon possessing one and turning on it towards the Lord to get rid of it. This was very unusual for them. Very unusual at the end, but it did have a cool solo at the back end. The hits in this album are just Get My Licks. The feel of this album was rather romantic, you know, as it was with a few albums in the past with topics of love, heartbreak, and, you know, with those being primary topics. This did talk about intimacy, talked about weddings. This also spoke on demons and as well as the Lord, which was abnormal for them. Now, my favorite song ends up being For Me. My favorite song on this ends up not being one, I believe. I said For Me, I Won't Lie. This album felt alright. It was a jump into the 90s, but no song truly grabbed me on this album. Although the music is solid, and I just don't have a favorite song, and I'm not gonna lie. So that's what I typed. So yeah, that is what I typed. So now we have where we at, Mission to Please. All right, Mission to Please. We are in 1996. Starting with Floating on Your Love, this is a smooth, fun-filling R&B jam that states, I'm drowning without your love. And with your love, I'll float on. So, nice. We have a song called Tears. This is a soulful, somber toned song set up by a skit of an injured or deceased partner in the beginning due to an accident that expresses appreciation for the love and support while they were in a relationship. So definitely pretty sad. Now we have a song called Can I Have a Kiss for Old Time's Sake. This is a smooth, slower paced R&B joint that is about running into an old lover randomly somewhere and wanting to rekindle that old flame via asking for a kiss for old time's sake. That might be the seventh plead. You know, just hey, can I get a kiss for old time? That's a plead. We got 7. I don't know why I'm counting the pleads. It's just something that my brain picked up that I thought I should notice. That I thought I should make note of, and we on 7 pleads thus far. Now, the self-titled song "Mission to Please You." This is a sensual R&B song about showing heavy devotion, Tekken, heavy devotion and intention to fully satisfy a lady. Holding Back the Years. This is a song that speaks about holding on to the past and not moving on, stuck to holding on to the difficult past while wanting to move on. Now the hits in this album end up being Can I Have a Kiss, Let's Lay Together, Tears, and Mission to Please You. This album felt noticeably more romantically intimate due to Mission to Please You, Slow is the Way, Let's Lay Together, Can I Have a Kiss, and Let's Get Intimate, all as song titles in this album. Now, the content of this spoke about romance and intimacy, struggling to let go of past traumas, the difficulties of losing a partner if they passed, and requests to get back in a relationship with an old flame. Let's Lay Together ends up being my favorite song. This is just a slow, sweet, suave, and sensual way to request intimacy. And I like the vibe. I do like the vibe. All right. So now we are on to Eternal. Eternal, we are in 2001. Oh shit, I was 11 when this came out. Now this starts with Move Your Body. This is a fun sounding R&B jam that's about requesting a lady to dance and liking the way that she moves. Note, every now and then they do make a reference, in several albums they've done this, but they make a reference to the older ways that they vocalized or even lyrics that they used. And I do like the way that they do it. The current example that reminded me of this in this album was on Move Your Body, the song I was just talking about. They bring up Who's That Lady? Remember the song That Lady from long ago? I think I quoted it. It's got girl, we can go half on a baby. You got me wondering who's that lady? I was like, I heard that and I was like, I see what you're doing. I was like, I kind of mess with that. I was like, I mess with it. I see what you're doing. But they've done that throughout the albums, and they've done it like vocally, like with how they sing. Whoa, they've done stuff like that, and I've just enjoyed it most of the time they've done it. Now, here's a song right here, Contagious. This is a mega jam. This is a mega jam reference song that you would be like, the people that made Contagious. This is a song for that. This is about finding a cheating lover in the act and confronting the two and breaking it up and almost catching a case on the guy due to your anger and emotions from the betrayal felt. Also, Mr. Biggs, this nickname seems like it starts here on this album. Right now, there are 3 references. There are multiple references, and we're only 3 songs into this album. Now, Warm Summer Nights, this is a song about Mr. Biggs being able to change your life by what he can do financially and sexually. He can give you rubies, give you gems. These are lyrics. I am not saying that he can do that as if I know. Give you rubies, give you gems, and also hit it back to back, says the lyrics. Now, Secret Lover, this is a smooth R&B upbeat song that expresses the desire for intimacy and gifts, but only as a secret lover to do so. I like that, kinda. Now, the self-titled song Eternal, this is a slower, soft, sensual song about the first intimate encounter and wanting to make it the beginning of an eternal love. Eternal. Now, there's another concept song we have here. It's called Said Enough. This is a beautiful duet with one of my favorite female artists, Jill Scott, about there's nothing left to say because the connection is so strong that they don't need to speak to each other. They already understand each other's emotions. And it was sung beautifully. Highly recommend listening to that song for sure. Now, here's another concept song, Ernie's Jam. This is a dope R&B toned song that just has Ernie jamming for most of it. I love the vibes, and his guitar play is just special. It's just special. Now, the hits in this end up being Said Enough, Secret Lover, Move Your Body, and Contagious. This album felt interesting due to this being the most feature-rich album of theirs so far, and it was a vibe. From fun-filling R&B tracks like Move Your Body and Secret Lover to intense drama like Contagious, and of course, sensual songs like Said Enough or Eternal. It's so lively, sensual, and emotionally potent. The content of this album spoke on being a provider and lover, infidelity, intense understanding of a partner, being a secret lover, settling down, intimacy, and romance, of course. My favorite song on this ends up being Said Enough, as I'm a big Jill Scott fan. I also love to hear the duet between her and Ron Isley. 'Twas fantastic and sensual as well. This may be my favorite track, or at least top 3 for me for sure. Next we have Body Kiss, made it to 2003. This opens with Superstar. This is a beautiful song about a woman that is excellent at plenty of things. Lucky Charm. This is a sweet song about calling your lady your lucky charm. And also there's a couple cool cereal references in here as well. What Would You Do? This is a big hit R&B song. What would you do if I did it? This song is basically asking what would you do if you were showered with gifts and intimacy. So, Body Kiss. This is what the album was called, right? So, self-titled song that is sensual and where an intimate game is played, where a lady chooses where a guy will kiss and things happen after that. Is a song called Busted here. This is a smooth R&B joint about confronting a cheating lover. Then we have a song here called Showdown, Volume 1. This is another smooth R&B jam about confronting a lover, organizing a gathering or showdown where the male and the lady had an affair with it. And where the male that was a part of the affair with the lady is being plotted on to be murdered or something. Now the hits on this end up being Take a Ride, Keep It Flowing, Busted, and What Would You Do? And this album felt a little scornful. There were a couple songs where the lead singer is addressing a cheating lover and being formed, and those what I want to say is those kind of dominated how the album felt, in my opinion. But outside of that, the album felt romantic, energetic, and pretty smooth. This album spoke on infidelity, betrayal, romance, and showering a partner with gifts and affection. My favorite song ends up being Showdown. This song is smooth but scornful, and I can relate from the few times I've been destructively angry due to betrayal. So that's why it ends up being my favorite song. Next album we got is Baby Making Music. Now this came out in 2006. 2006. This starts with You're My Star. This is a steady pace jam. Speaking on a lady being their star and appreciating their body. Just Came Here to Chill is a very relaxing R&B song that is about a relaxing time instead of an intense, intimate time. You don't have to put on a dress. You don't have to worry. Let's just chill. I thought that was pretty interesting. Here's a song. This is an interesting song here. Forever Mackin'. This is a smooth song about not committing to any relationship if it doesn't feel like she's the one for him. He says he'll be forever macking until he finds the one he truly loves, and that person he is going to fully commit to. Now, Show Me. This is a sensual joint about a direct desire for intimacy, with admiration and attraction also being things that are vocally spouted as well. Heaven Hooked Us Up. This is a chill R&B song about a relationship, feeling blessed by the Lord and being confused and unhappy about love as a whole until this relationship. Kitty cat, no. You can't go that way. No. Stay back there, please. Or you can come chill on my lap, bro. Come chill on my lap, bro. Quit being a nuisance over there. I'm right here. No? Yes? There you are. Come here, bro. I got you. You're interrupting the video, but you don't care about that, right? Come on. Got me a kitty cat. Now, you can get these pets. Where were we? Of course, I have lost. Oh, we're on hits. Now, the hits in this album are Just Came Here to Chill. This album felt more the same, but this one has more of a relaxed feel to it. Intimacy and romance and sensuality may be due to a slower pace on some songs, and also Just Came Here to Chill feels really relaxing but intimate. Hey, bro, what did I tell you? You can't be there. No, that's a no. I'm gonna turn off my computer. Cut that shit out. Now, the content, this spoke about love, beautiful women, a heaven-blessed relationship, and a woman being a muse in order to write, and macking. My favorite song ends up being Just Came Here to Chill. This song is a good combo of intimate but very chill. It doesn't feel very intense, but just relaxing, and I'm a fan of it. Next, we have I'll Be Home for Christmas. Now, this is going to be kind of a short description because it's Christmas, right? This came out in 2007. This opens with Winter Wonderland. This is probably the smoothest way that this song has been sung. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Walking in a winter wonderland. Now, there's a concept song here, I'll Be Home for Christmas. This is a beautifully sung Christmas song about being on the road normally, but making sure to return for Christmas with the loved ones. Now, here is another song, the Isley Christmas Melody. This is a beautiful song where I've never heard the first half of my name sung so soulfully and beautifully. There's another song here, What Can I Buy You? This is a smooth R&B style song to As What I Can Buy You. Christmas is coming soon. Now, the hits in this end up being the Isley Christmas Melody. Isley Christmas Melody. This album felt very festive, seeing as it is a Christmas album. But outside of that, just a very relaxing album. This album spoke on Christmas and buying things, Silent Night, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, White Christmas, Winter Wonderland. You get the vibes. Also, love and being in love and returning to loved ones for Christmas was also a part of this. My favorite song ends up being the Isley Christmas Melody. This song is just very relaxing. And sung so soothing and beautifully. It's such a pure vocal style. Trying to make sure my cat ain't trying to turn off my PC, bro. Now, we got The Power of Peace. Power of Peace, this came out in 2017, not too far ago. It starts with Are You Ready? This song is in relation to dancing or getting hyped up. Are you ready to dance and get hyped up? This album does feature Santana, so there is a decent amount of instrumentation on this song in particular, and throughout the album. Now, God Bless the Child. This is a smooth song that is actually about self-reliance and independence, despite the title of the song. Now, Body Talk. This is a sensual, smooth jam that is about the intimate setting of a body speaking or communicating with another. If you know, you know. Now, Mercy, Mercy Me. This is a rendition of Marvin Gaye's song, which shows the sadness and sorrow of the times lived in today in comparison, I suppose, to times in the past. This album does have an old jazzy feel to it. And Let the Rain Fall on Me. It's got a decent amount of songs that just give it a jazzier feel. The hits in this end up being Mercy, Mercy Me, Gypsy Woman. This album felt chill and jazzy and a tad romantic at times. The vibe was much more spread out. This album spoke on older times compared to now, love, intimacy, connecting through bodies, self-reliance, and what the world needs at the moment, in their opinion. My favorite song ends up being Mercy, Mercy Me. This is a bit somber of a song, but I love the original, and I also love this version of the song. And last but not least, we have Make Me Say It Again, Girl. Now, this came out in 2022, so just 4 years ago. This opens with the self-titled R&B jam. Beyonce is on this. It's a beautiful song. It's a duet that gives admiration to a lover, stating that you're all I need, or stating that all I need is stating that I want you to make me say you're all I need. That is why it is called that. Now, we have a song here called The Plug. This is featuring 2 Chainz. This song is making Ron Isley the plug for a woman, intimacy, romance, dates, monies, etc. Now, we have a song here called Last Time. This is a smooth, sensual song about the last time of an intimate encounter and thinking of it and, having naughty thoughts. Now, Keys to My Mind featuring Quavo and Takeoff. This is a super smooth joint about a lady driving you crazy like she has the keys of your mind. Now, there's They'll Never Be. This is a beautifully sung jam that's about an irreplaceable love. Nah, nah, nah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, it is a mega hit. And I wrote nah, 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 nah. No, no, no. I don't know why I wrote all them nods. I don't remember. I do remember the song. Never mind. But I'm not gonna sing it. Now, concept song we have here, Friends and Family. This is a beautiful song about staying together with friends and family over time. There are lots of cameos in the vid in this, and especially since their career is about 60 plus years. So I imagine they have amassed a decent amount of friends and family. Now, last concept song we have here is Biggest Bosses featuring Rick Ross. This is a rare song where Ron is flexing how much of a boss he is with Rick Ross following that. Now, the hits on this album end up being Friends and Family, The Plug, Make Me Say It Again Girl, and Last Time. The feel of this album was a bit strange because to me it was really obvious that can I lean back? What happened to my chair? Oh, the cats. Gotcha. It was really obvious to me that there were different people writing for Ron. Like maybe Quavo or Takeoff from the Migos wrote his verse in that. Maybe 2 Chainz wrote his verse on the 2 Chainz song. And maybe Rick Ross wrote the verse for the Rick Ross song. I'm not certain if that was the case. I'm not certain how difficult it would be to find out who wrote the songs, but he is literally rapping or he's doing this like sing rap thing where like he's extending the words via singing, but it's like quick. So it's like, it's closer to rapping than he ever has. And it's cool, but it also gives it kind of a strange feel because none of the albums have done that. So I just think it felt really chill and really beautiful. This album felt like a homage collab project with the features of, Beyonce, the Migos, Rick Ross, and 2 Chainz. It was a beautiful vibe though. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Now the content of this album, it spoke on love, family and friends, intimate encounters, naughty thoughts, being a boss, flexing wealth, and, a lady dominating your mind. My favorite song in this ends up being Make Me Say It Again. This is another wonderful duet. I really like Ron Isley's duets. I've liked all of them that he's done. I believe he has one with Angela, maybe a couple with Angela Winbush. I know he has one with Jill Scott that I love a bunch, and I love this one with Beyonce as well. So it's just beautifully sung, and there's great cohesion between the two, vocally speaking. Yeah. Now, all right. Now we are into the near conclusion. Now, let's just pull up a big picture of the Isley brothers. Yeah, throw them in there. Yeah. Boom. Let's put that up there. Now, the drama, I tried to do some research on some drama. They did have a 60-year tenure. There's no way that you don't have drama in between that. And it did not seem like they had very, very much drama. Maybe I didn't do good enough research, but I know that they had label drama back in the Motown era in the 60s. But beyond that, the only visible drama that I saw was Rudolph Isley, who retired in 86. He sued Ron Isley for the trademarking of the Isley for 100%. Or he sued Ron Isley for 50% of the trademark because Ron Isley trademarked the Isley brothers for 100% of his own, whatever. But sadly, Rudolph passed into 2023. But the case is open, but the team, I believe, is uncertain if they will continue the litigation. So that's pretty much it. And other than that, Ron Isley did 3 years in jail, but it was for tax evasion. Like that's a classic wealthy person mistake, joining, the club of Shakira, Wesley Snipes, Lauryn Hill, and amongst plenty others, I'm sure. So not too crazy. Now the hits, like with the hits, like it's your thing. Who's that lady between the sheets? You're contagious. And like that, you understand that all these hits, Footsteps in the Dark, For the Love of You, they've got a lot of platinum and global hits that plenty of people would know over this 60-year span of time that they've been putting out music. Now the content, there's a lot of content in this catalog, but I will list that they primarily cover love, lust, heartbreak, infidelity, betrayal, gift giving, dancing, intimacy, the people struggle, the common people struggle, and romance. Now the feel of this band, it starts at love. You must know that like the feel starts at love, since that is their primary subject that they end up speaking out of. But the music, when you listen to it, it just makes you feel smooth. It makes you feel sensual. It makes you feel very cool at times and romantic and energetic. In my opinion, or in my experience. My favorite songs end up being, in order, Summer Breeze, For the Love of You, Said Enough with Jill Scott, Between the Sheets, Make Me Say It Again with Beyonce, They'll Never Be, and Highways of Life. So those are my favorite songs, although I looked and I added over 40 songs on this on multiple playlists. So I put a lot in. But this family / band has one of the best iconic sounds of our lives, from blues to Motown to funk to disco to R&B and even hip hop. An amazing sound. Ron's vocals are pure, suave, debonair, and timeless. Ernie's guitar play was magnificent, masterful, and just awesome. So go listen. I've said enough on these highways of life. Don't make me say it again or shout. There'll never be quite a Summer Breeze as cool, smooth, and like none of the others as the Isley Brothers. StryfeSight done, baby! Woohoo!